Hey, we are live on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. So please let me know when someone gets on if they can hear and see me okay, because it would be unfortunate if I ended up speaking just to myself. Jade says, "Hey, Chris. Hey, Jade. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well." Get started here in just a couple of minutes once we get some more folks on. Send an email and a browser notifications and all sorts of alerts and stuff. So should be piling in any minute now. Like it was I was going to say Rolling Stones concert, but I'm trying to be more aware of my audience. So who knows? Jim says, "Hi, everyone." Hello, Jim. Always a pleasure. It's been a good few minutes since I spoke to you. I have a feeling Jim is going to have some input on today's topic, but I could be less right than I usually am. I already was once today. Albert says, "Hello, Chris." What's up, Albert? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining us today. I am live on LinkedIn today for the very first time ever. Thank you to my good friend Mandy McEwen, who had a contact there that helped me get approved for that. I don't know how that works or where it's going to be or what it's going to look like or anything like that, but more is better, right? So if anybody can find that, I'd love to see. Oh, there it is. Holy moly. Can't believe I just said holy moly. That's really cool. So we still getting some folks on. Once we get some more on, we'll get more on. Once we get some more folks on, we will get into today's subject a little bit, and then we will go from there. I'm a little surprised that nobody's asked me why I have a keyboard in my window yet. But maybe once we get some more people on, we will get that question. Usman says, "Finally catching you live after watching tons of pre-recorded videos." Awesome. I mean, I'm glad you could be on, and I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. I really, really love making videos, and I wish I could do more of it, to be perfectly honest. Keith Hawkins, SEO specialist on LinkedIn, says, "Hey, Chris." What's up, Keith? Congratulations on being our very, very first LinkedIn Live comment of all time. Jim asks, "Why do you have a keyboard in your window?" Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit today, but I'm going to give it just another minute or two for some other folks to be on. We're on Instagram also, although I have a very small following on Instagram and there's currently nobody on. Actually, I don't know if it's live or not. It's not working properly. That's disappointing. Let's try that again. I missed the interviews you did with Sackett and folks. I'm going to get some more of those going soon. I think I'm going to have Craig Campbell, and see who else I can get on. It's been a while since we've had Jim on, so we'll definitely bring him on as well. Maybe we'll get Sackett and Roheen and see who else we can scrounge up. I'm always open to suggestions if you have anybody that you would be interested in seeing on. Joe, what's up, Joe? Joe says maybe he spilled a beverage on it. Yes, actually, that's kind of close. That's not even kind of close. It's true. But we're going to talk about the whole situation in just a few minutes. So Been on for about 5 minutes. Once we've been on for about 10, we'll get into today's subject. In the meantime, if you have any questions or suggestions for guests or comments or anything like that you'd like me to get into, please let me know. We got a couple people on Instagram now. We got Creative Nasnin and Christopher Tilley. What's up, Christopher? Really excited about LinkedIn, even though I only have a couple people on. I don't like not having things, to be perfectly blunt. It pissed me off that other people were approved for it and I was not. So there you go. Osman says other PBN sellers on Legiit, probably. Valarex and other guys would love to hear their take on PBNs too. It's a good idea. I'll see who I can't round up from Legiit. Definitely need to get Jim back on soon, though. We haven't had Jim in a long time. Couple months at least. I'd love to see a roundtable event, maybe 3 or 4 people doing a casual conversation podcast style. That's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. And I've always just done one-on-one. I think that's a great idea, actually. I know that that Craig Campbell, who, by the way, whose podcast I was on recently, was a great time. Check that out. It's on his channel, Craig Campbell SEO. He does that. He has, I don't know what he calls it, but I know he has a show with multiple people. So I think that could be a good time. It's a good idea. Jim finally come through with a good idea. Oh, Digital Musker says, how are you, Chris? I'm doing good, Digital Musker. How are you? Randy Rohde says, hey there. Hey, what's up, Randy? Always a pleasure, my friend. Pretty decent turnout today. Hoping we'll get a little bit more going on. Let's see who's in the lead. Right now, it doesn't give me stats for LinkedIn. That's interesting. But I've got, it looks like Facebook is actually winning today. Nobody on Twitch. We usually have one person on Twitch who refuses to reveal themselves, which is disappointing. Actually, I don't care. So, Simo, what's up, Simo? Simo says, hey, Chris. Hey, Simo, good to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Got about 2 minutes, and then we will cover why I have a keyboard in my window and how that's relevant to today's topic. Stavros, what's up, Stavros? Stavros says, hi, everybody. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining. Always a pleasure. Instagram's died off, but that's okay. Wasn't expecting a ton there. By the way, you may have noticed that I have a new audio setup thanks to, and I'm sorry I don't remember the gentleman's name, but on the last one, the last live stream we did about a week ago, he pointed out that I had it set up wrong, and it turned out it was right. So I played with it, and I've got what I think is both more visually appealing and probably a better sound quality as well. So Jim says, I think you plugged your keyboard into the wrong Windows. And there goes, man. You know what? Leave the dad jokes to me, despite you being a dad and me not. I feel like you're stealing my thunder. All right. So you may have noticed in the window behind me is my Logitech G910 keyboard that I normally have. And the reason for that, as Joe guessed earlier, is I managed to spill a little bit of water on it, which I wouldn't have thought. Ahmed says, howdy. What's up, Ahmed? Good to see you, my friend. I wouldn't have thought it would have caused the problems that it did, but it caused all kinds of haywire because it was just a tiny bit of water. But for whatever reason, it like made the caps lock keep going on and off, and a bunch of keys being pressed, and all sorts of other shenanigans to happen. And it was very, very frustrating. So what I did was I quit working and gave up, and now I didn't get anything done. Oh, no, that's not what I did at all. What I did was go out to the trunk of my car and get the spare keyboard that I keep in there for that very circumstance. Now, the reason I have a spare keyboard in my trunk is that I thought one day, I literally took an hour one day and made a list of everything that could possibly go wrong that would impair my business. So one of those things I thought was if my keyboard stopped working, keyboard and mouse stopped working, I'd be not able to do anything. So I had an extra one and I put it in the trunk of my car. And the reason I put it in the trunk of my car is because that way, if it happened at home or if it happened at my office, I always had a spare. So literally, once I realized that it wasn't going to get better, the other keyboard, because I put it in the window for a little bit and hoping that would dry it out and I could get back to it, it didn't work. So I went out and got my spare one, and I lost maybe 15 minutes of productivity. I also spent $100 on Amazon and got a new one just like that one. So now if this one heals after being in the window for a few hours, I'll be able to put it back where it belongs. If not, I'll have a replacement for it. If it does heal, and I will just I'll leave it here, and then I'll take the one that I ordered and use it at home because it's a much nicer keyboard than the spare. And then I'll have my spare again in case this ever happens again. Now, that probably wasn't a particularly interesting story, but the lesson to that was, well, there's two. The one that could have crippled my entire day. It was frustrating, but I didn't let it. I adapted to the circumstance that came up, and I just got back to work. A lot of people don't do that. It sounds like a no-brainer, right? But a lot of people, when something happens that wasn't planned or isn't ideal or isn't perfect, they let it like crush whatever it is that they're doing. I didn't. I went right back to work. So, and then the other thing is I had planned for and anticipated that particular sequence of events. That's something that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as anybody that wants to have success at anything, you have to do. You have to be able to adapt to unexpected and somewhat negative circumstance. Now, I realize that that's not the end of the world, but you get my point. You also need to be able to see around the corner, figure out what could go wrong, and have a contingency plan. Most people I know would have been screwed. Like they would have had to either go to Best Buy and, wait to get in because that's the world we live in right now, and then get another one and then come back, and it would have taken hours, and they probably would have not done anything else. I went out to my car, got another one, and got right back to work, ordered another one, and that way the situation will be handled again over back. So I know that that's a very minor thing, but I think it's a very, very, very important lesson on planning, loss prevention, I guess is what you would call it, and adapting to circumstance. I don't know, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, well, maybe a little, but I think that a lot of people could stand to learn that lesson, right? Is to prepare for things that could be crippling to your business. That should be one of the most important things that you do. Being able to adapt to things that go wrong should be another thing that you do. And then just not letting it fluster you and not feeling like you're powerless. Everything that good that you accomplish is to your credit. Everything bad that happens is your fault. Once you accept that, you have the power to make sure that you maximize the good and minimize the bad. And that's kind of what I did there. And that's actually why I left that in the window right now is for this live stream, as opposed to taking it down, was so I could make that point. So I hope that you find that helpful. And I hope that that's a lesson that many people can take, it's your job to adapt to situations as they come up. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. But I really want to see all of you succeed, and I want to be able to help as much as I can. And that was a frustrating circumstance for me today. So I adapted to it, and I made a little bit of lemonade out of the lemons and churned it into the topic for today's live stream. So I hope that was helpful. Khaled says, hi, Chris. Doubt if you can pronounce my name, though. That's as good as I'm going to do. I hope that helps. Joe says, I think it support Windows. Boom, boom. Sam says, yo, yo, yo. 11 watching, only 4 likes. Stop sleeping. I like the stream. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Salim, hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. He says, hi, Chris. How do you like my work? You did a great job for me. I appreciate that. Thank you. Check him out on Legiit, citation expert or experter. It's not citation expert, citation expert with an R at the end. Excuse me. Jim says, got to take extreme ownership. Doesn't matter whose fault it is. It's ultimately on you to adapt and overcome. Right. And that's kind of what I mean when I say that everything is your fault. Now, of course, everything's not your fault. But if you say it's not my fault, then you don't have, what you're admitting is you don't have power over your situation and you can't do what is necessary to fix it. For some people, they use that as an excuse. Other people, they just don't know any better. But as a business owner, entrepreneur, or anyone that wants to be successful at anything, it's up to you to make it better. I know it sucks when bad things happen, especially ones that you didn't cause directly yourself, but nobody is going to help you. Nobody's going to fix it for you. You have to figure out what it's going to take to get through that situation and get back on the path to success, which is what I want for all of you. So that's kind of the point I'm trying to illustrate with the keyboard there. It still makes me a little sad though, because it's a very nice keyboard. Simo asks, well, he states, I think that very few people would think about having a spare keyboard. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, part of it goes back to my days in tech support, where I think about what things that, but I also think about what I call a single point of failure. So you need to examine everything in your business from the big stuff up, like having a single source of revenue, all the way down to the tiny stuff like having a spare keyboard and a mouse, Now, one thing I don't have a backup is a phone. I probably should, but that's kind of another thing. But yeah, I mean, just take an hour one day and think about everything you use every day and what would cripple you if you were out, if it didn't work anymore, So yeah, thank you, I guess. Digital Musker says, for a freelancer, is it good to provide a variety of SEO services, such as keyword research, competitor analysis, on-page SEO, or just provide one topic is good? What did you say? I mean, I do a little bit of everything, but I've been at it a while. I would start with the 2 or 3 things that you are good at and can do cost effectively and just do a good job at and get a reputation as the guy for that. Like social signals was where I started with that. And then over time, you can add more things to add more revenue. If you offer too much at once, it kind of like, I don't want to say overwhelms people, but makes people not know what to get from you. So I would start with like 1 or 2 areas, get really good at that, get a reputation for that, and then add more as you build up trust. So I like a lot of the stuff I offer now is a direct response from things that people asked me to offer after I got them hooked on social signals and SendWire and things like that. So I think that's kind of the answer, is start with a couple and then scale. CL Allen 87. Hey, what's up going on? I recognize you from Legiit. Says, do you approach the link building process differently for videos versus websites? Yeah, with video, you want to do a lot. You can get away with doing a lot more links. You have to do them a lot sooner though. And you can also abuse it a little more. What I mean by that is you can do more exact anchors and things like that. So yeah, I definitely do it differently. I'm not as cautious. It doesn't take as long because after like the first day or two, anything you do is a waste anyway. So just be aggressive and yeah, just use more exact anchors and just kind of 2014 SEO, if you know what I mean. So Jim says, not going to lie, I'm now looking for an LED backlit keyboard to step up my game. Awesome. Like, I really love it. And it sounds dumb, but I think things like that are actually very important. Like you want to have cool stuff around you that you enjoy looking at and seeing and just being around all day, because you spend most of your day, at least I do, and I assume everyone, you spend most of your day at work interacting with things, right? So why not have the stuff that you like stuff that you like to look at? My desk is a little bit of a mess right now because of the keyboard incident. But over here, I have my Amazon Alexa, which she's now going to talk to us. Over here, I have Mohawk Buddha. And then I have my sunglasses and stuff, and then I keep the rest of it as clear as possible. So that's what I like, you know? Lars, what's up, Lars? Good to see you, my friend. And the answer to an obstacle is 42. Life goes on. And I happen to be 3012 or 42 if you want to be a dick about it. So I am the answer to everything right now for the next 9 months or whatever it is. Jim says, that's why I'm around you so much. Oh, stop. Joe says, I had one, but be careful when purchasing. Some make loud clicky noises. Yeah, mine's loud, but I don't care. It bothers some people, but I don't care. CEO in the house. But no, you're right. It is louder, but it's worth it to me. I don't care if it bothers other people or not. Sam says, would there be a problem if I sold a bundle service, but part of that bundle I buy from another seller on Legiit? Would there be any problems with that? I don't have a problem with it, as you know, Legiit doesn't have a problem with it. I would make sure that the other seller is on board with it, just in case, you know, and I would test it out and make sure they do a good job, both as far as customer service, turnaround time, dealing with custom situations as they arise, and with just the actual work. So, but I would just talk to them and figure it out. But yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Anything that makes me more money is a good thing. I wouldn't go that far, actually. Lars says, good answer. Thank you. I actually made a personal Facebook post about that like a week or two ago, about how I was now the answer to everything because I am 42. So, a little stiff today. Collade says, for me, something little such as an ugly font can be an obstacle to working on a content. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not a details guy, but I can see you being a successful content writer. I can see where that could be a problem. Mar says a mechanical keyboard with brown switches aren't too loud as compared to blue switches. Interesting. I didn't know that. I did see one on Amazon like a year ago that was made out of gold and had like all this like really like unnecessary extravagant stuff that it was like $4,000, and I'm not gonna lie, I considered it. It was so cool, but I'm just gonna get my G910 back. Yeah, I've bought the service that I want to include in the bundle a couple times, so I know it's good. Awesome. I hope you're talking about me. But yeah, that's the only advice I have with that, is to make sure that the seller's cool with it, make sure that they do good work and have good service, and you'll be good. Like, I've worked with some people that do a great job and have a good turnaround time, and this isn't necessarily people on Legiit, but it's the same principle, but they are very inflexible when a customer or a potential customer wants something a little bit custom. So that's something to consider as well. So, yeah, that was kind of my my lesson for today. It's funny that I was planning a live stream and I was literally typing out what I was going to talk about, and that's when that happened. And then my keyboard went haywire, and it got the schedule, the thing I was scheduling it through StreamYard, stopped working, and I ended up being able to change topics because of it. So, you know, when life gives you lemon, make lemonade. Much to the disappointment of Jim, I do not mean that literally. I don't know how to make lemonade. I mean, I kind of guess I do, but not really. So, all right. Anything else we'd like to talk about today? Whether it's SEO, whether it's business, my nose is just, does that mean I'm going to get money, or what superstition is that? I want to talk freelancing, business, Legiit, consulting, mindset. I can just sit here ramble for 15 minutes if you want me to do that. It's definitely a skill that I have, or we can wrap up. That's fine too. We've already been here for 24, basically 25 minutes, but we got about 30 people on, which is cool. Let's see what LinkedIn's doing. Doesn't really show me how many people are on there. And if it does, I don't know how. Joe says allergies. Yeah, I suppose that could. If you want to be be scientific about it. I guess it could be that. I don't have any that I'm aware of, but I'm definitely feeling it at the moment, which I wasn't earlier. So maybe I'm allergic to you guys. If it's anybody, it's Jim, though. I'm definitely allergic to Jim. Alrighty, anybody on? Oh, we got our person on Twitch. If you're the person on Twitch, please say hello. I would love to know who you are. Mar says freelancing on any platform is best, or owning in any agency type site. It's up to you. Like, different people have different perspective. The ups of freelancing on like a marketplace like Legiit.com, the greatest thing in the history of history, is that you get traffic built in, you get customer service built in, and you don't have to make the long-term commitment. And you still have to do a certain amount of sales, but you're not, cold calling and cold emailing and things like that. The downside is it's a little less predictable, right? And I mean, you can get monthly services, but for the most part, it's one-off, or at least one-off in the sense that it's in order, so that's the downside. The upside to owning an agency is that there's a lot of things you can do. It's a more traditional type of business. You can really get some big clients if you have the skill, both in sales and in execution. The downside is you're going to need people. You're going to have to deal more with one-on-one with clients, with more difficult clients, and you have to constantly fill your funnel. So that's kind of the other side of that. So, hey, there's some people walking by. So it's really just what you prefer. I do much more freelancing than I do. I mean, kind of now all I do is CEOing, but the freelancing has been better to me than the agency side ever has, but I've done and still do both. So it just depends on your preference. Ross says, trying to get a customer that is ranking for a few keywords in the map pack. Can you recommend the service from Legiit that will give me some good results? Have done the GMB optimization already. So it's not a matter of one service or another. You just have to go through the steps. Citations, optimizing GMB. You can do some custom maps if you want to do that. And then some of those other booster things. But no, not really. Like, you just kind of have to go through the process. Make sure the on page is good. That's a part that a lot of people overlook. And so no, there's really not one, use this type of thing. If you haven't done citations, that's your next step though. And you should use me for that. Oops. Also, hey man, hope you're good. Same to you. I'm doing well. I appreciate the concern, and I hope you're doing well as well. Simo says, hey Chris, about that social media post service, I have made several changes to it. Is it okay for you to check it out? Certainly. Let's go ahead and share my screen once I get logged in. What do we want? We want to go design it. And let's see. Social media posts design. I will just, come on, man. I will. You don't need that. Come up with something a little flashier for this portion. Let's see. Standard, 3x revisions. 1 standard custom design social media post ready to use on whatever platform you mentioned, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Please read the description. 6 revisions. Yeah, this is much better. It was so confusing before. Let's see. You want to take care of your social media accounts. All you need is well-designed posts. Follow me. What do I provide? I'm a graphic designer. What benefit will my service bring you? I like to copy reviews, samples, templates. Yeah, this is much better. Like, before it was so confusing. So yeah, the only thing I would clear up is that it's the graphic portion of the post that you're not writing like the text content of the post. So you might want, and it may say that in here, I don't know, but you may want to clear that up But other than that, I think this is much better. So definitely want to go ahead and drop that in the chat for people. So definitely check Simo's work out. He does very good work. And now that he's optimized this, I think it'll do even better for him. So I am going to stop sharing and hop back on camera. Sam says, at Mar, maybe you can use both a Legiit account and an agency type site. That also brings some clients from Legiit to your agency. Yeah, definitely do that. Like I have clients I did that. 2, 4. I have gotten clients that way before. Mar says, got it. Thanks for explaining. Thank you. Let me grab some water real quick. Already been here half an hour. Time flies. Make sure I didn't miss any questions anywhere else. Doesn't look like I did. Alrighty. Stavros says, how would you start approaching companies as an SEO agency so you can start to get known about your work? I can approach small company owners, but not looking to do that since it's a pain. Do not get paid enough for the work you'll be doing. Any suggestions? Well, it sounds like you want to approach, or it sounds like you want to work with bigger companies that will, and you can only see my eyes right now. I guess people are probably getting used to that with the way society's going. So if I'm reading your question right, what you're asking is how can you approach bigger companies? What I would do is take one of those smaller companies that you don't want to work with and do something for them for free in exchange for documenting it as a case study. So that way you can be like, I did this, this, and this, and got them this, this, and this. And I can do that for you as well. Would you like to sit down and have a conversation for it? A case study like that is the ultimate social proof because you can show result and you can show what you did. So that's my answer to that, is to work with a smaller company, offer to do it for free or very, very low cost in exchange for being able to document it and use it in your marketing and sales going forward. So hope that is helpful and answers that. Chris links to that particular service on Legiit. He did that several times here. Simo says, thank you. Thank you, Simo. You always do great work. I'm happy to help you out. Let's see. We are caught up on questions, and I've made my point for the day. So let me know what else you'd like to chat about, speak about, talk about, get into, discuss. I should really be a thesaurus. Usman is on LinkedIn, and he says, hear from your stream. Alrighty. Salim says, Chris, why would buyer review badly after receiving a good work service? Well, the thing is, different people have different opinions, and no matter how great your work is, you can't please everybody. I know that's phony. I know that's frustrating, and I know it's cliche, but it's true. So all you can do is do the best job that you possibly can and respond kindly and helpfully when that happens. Try to fix the issue for the customer. Ask them what you could have done differently, how you can make it right with them, what you can do to have them change that for you. And that's all you can really do. If you know that you did the best you can do on the work and on the customer service, then don't beat yourself up over it and just move on to the next thing. I know it sucks. I know it's frustrating. I got a somewhat bad review earlier this week that I don't feel that I deserve, but it is what it is. So just do your best and move on to the next one and keep doing a great job for everyone, So I think that we give reviews way too much weight. So just do a good job and keep trucking, Stavros says, great, thanks. So showing results, it will be a lot easier to approach bigger companies. Exactly, yes. Thoughts on the role and effectiveness of safe links nowadays? I haven't used them in quite a while. I don't know. Anything I'd say would be pure speculation. I mean, a link is still a link. However, Google may have gotten smarter at doing them, but really a safe link isn't a lot different than a, what do you call it? A niche edit, if you think about it. And those were like gangbusters. So I don't know, but I suspect they still work well. Maybe I'll do like a test and see what happens and just pummel some site with like 50 of them or something. Fran says, will this be recorded? Just got here. Yes, ma'am, it will. It will be right at the same URL that you're watching at right now. So once it's done, it'll be there. The quality will improve, and you'll be able to go back and watch it whenever you'd like at your convenience. Nobody on Instagram? That's okay. Like I said, I started a new Instagram like a month or two ago, so it hasn't really grown that much, and I don't really like Instagram all that much, to be perfectly blunt. Over in the Legiit Facebook group, Mihrab posted his affiliate link to his service. All right, that's one way to go about it. Fran says, many thanks. Thank you, Fran. Appreciate you taking the time and showing the interest to see what we're talking about today. Hope you find it beneficial, entertaining, and that Jim didn't scare you off. Got to make fun of Jim. It's actually and I'm making fun of Jim and not myself, so this point is a bit, but it's actually, in my opinion, very, very important to be able to make fun of yourself. I do it in my social media and in my marketing all the time. And a lot of people don't have the ego for it, but I find it endears people to me. And that way I can get that out of my system as well and like not offend people, so. So that's that. I actually, one person that made that point very, very well of all people was the former WWE superstar / wrestler Kurt Angle in his Hall of Fame acceptance speech a few years ago. One thing he said was that a piece of advice he would give to the younger generation would be that to not be afraid to make fun of yourself, like have some fun at your expense. You never know what you're going to come up with. So it's something that I have put into practice and has worked for me. So. Sam says, I hate Instagram too. No place for discussion, all just images, no link post either. It's so annoying. Yeah, it's definitely not for the kind of business we do, in my opinion. And I like to browse it. I like to look at not business stuff. I like to look at stuff I'm interested in, but it has very little business application, and I don't express myself through picture very well. I can do well talking like this. I can write pretty well. But as far as images, it's just not my thing. Jim says, still can't find an RGB keyboard for Mac that has the proper keys. Help. Just go ahead and throw the Mac in the fucking garbage and go get yourself a real computer. And then you can get a cool keyboard like mine. You're welcome, buddy. For real, though, if anybody knows how to help Jim out, like has any suggestions, let him know. Slim says, thank you, Chris. Thank you. You do good work, man. Just don't beat yourself up. Just do your best. Try to help as much as you can, where you can, and just keep plugging on. And I have a feeling you are going to get some good advice from somebody else soon, too. And I'll just leave it at that. So, yeah, just don't let it get you down. All righty, we are 40 minutes into this thing. Man, that went fast. I am pumped. I'm really happy to have LinkedIn. I'm interested to see. I have like 6,500 connections or whatever you call them on LinkedIn. I'm really interested to see how well this reaches them. But again, I want to give a shout out to Mandy McEwen, good friend of mine, been on live streams with me before. She had a connection that helped me. Interesting. It's called a connection. She had a connection that she had that helped me get approved for LinkedIn Live, because they don't approve everybody for it yet. So big shout out to her. Maybe we'll have her on again too. She's always been very popular. So definitely need to get back on the live stream express. I kind of died off a bit after the spring when I was doing them daily, and I've been trying to do them weekly. I haven't always even gotten that far, but we'll go from there. Shoot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, anything else you would like to talk about today? Anybody have an answer for Jim here on how to get an RGB keyboard for that Tinker toy that he calls a computer? From Fisher Price computer thingy. If I don't hear from anybody in the next minute or two, we're going to actually call it a day, because nobody wants to just sit here and listen to me ramble and try to fill the silence. But good turnout today. Sent out an email, sent out a browser notification. I don't really do chatbot things too much anymore because I'm afraid of getting my Facebook shut down, because that would suck. So yeah, we'll stay till 45 minutes. If business doesn't pick up by then, we will call it a day. Jim says, got to have that option and command keys, none of those Windows keys. I'm just saying that when mine got damaged, I had a new one ordered that will be here tomorrow within a few minutes. So what does that tell you? Jim says, one last final thought. Is that a question or you have one? Is it possible to buy a share of Legiit? Not yet, but who knows what the future holds. Really excited about Legiit right now. I mean, I always have been, but we've got some cool new stuff coming up with our change of direction that I think is going to really, really help a lot of people. And quite frankly, it's going to make me a lot of money, which is also a good goal. Not just me. I think it's going to make everybody a lot more money. So I'm really pumped about that. Really excited about the future. And I feel really bad for the people that haven't stuck with it, because they're going to miss out. Be like working at Amazon or having an opportunity on Amazon in like 1995. So, yeah. So we're waiting for Jim's final thought, unless he's asking me for a final thought. And if he is, I don't have one. I've used up all of my thoughts for today. There we go. Business is up 37% over last year in my agency. It's not about the economy or government or politics or cooties. It's about ownership and making it happen. Definitely. My businesses are all up compared. I don't have the exact number, but are all up considerably compared to last year. This has been by far my best business year. I mean, yeah, it sucked for a little bit in March and April, but we've rebounded like crazy. You are not powerless. You can make it happen. If Jim can do it and I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing special about us. If you saw our day-to-day conversations, you would understand that. The only difference is that when we get punched in the fucking teeth, and please forgive my language, but I think it's important. When we get punched in the fucking teeth, like it happens day to day for people, when you're in business, we punch back and we get back to it and we figure out ways to make it happen. That's the only thing that we know that you don't. And you may know that too. When I say you, I mean whoever, but yeah, make it happen. You can sit around and blame the government or blame the political candidate, or you can blame the party, or you can blame I hate to even bring it up. You can, the virus, the situation, other situations in the world or you can do the fucking work and get it done and make that living and help those people that need your help, because it's your job. And if you aren't doing it for them, you are doing a disservice to them. So yeah, as Jim says, his business is up 37%. Mine's up phenomenally. Yours should be up too. And if it's not, you need to figure out what you are doing wrong, because if it's not up and it's down, it's because you aren't doing enough. You aren't putting in the work. You aren't making the effort. So get to work and fucking figure it out. So, and I promise not to say fuck anymore for the rest of this live stream, but yes, that gets me fired up. The podcast episode you went on with Craig Campbell was fire. Awesome. I enjoyed it. Craig's a very, very nice guy. And he asked some great questions. So, yes. Jim says facts. And he says it in all caps. So he says facts. Jim says you've got to be willing to not quit. Absolutely. My Kung Fu teacher, God rest his soul, the thing he told me first to be successful, the 3 points were to show up, give 100%, and don't quit. He said that's all you have to do to be successful. And that's a lesson that I've always taken from him and have put into practice in my life. Lars says, thanks for the last 30 minutes. Great as always. Thank you, Lars. Always a pleasure. Randy says, truth. Awesome. Thank you, Randy. Abrar has a question. Let me know what your question is. Should do another one discussing about like PBNs and link building. Yes, we'll bring Sackett back on sometime soon. He and I have casually talked about it. We just haven't gotten around to it yet. So I'll message him later and we'll bring him on, and then I'll see who else link building wise I can maybe bring on. There's somebody I have in mind, but he's kind of controversial. So I'll have to debate whether it's worth it or not. But there's somebody else I'd like to bring on. I'm going to get Craig Campbell on at some point. I'm talking to Craig Griffiths tomorrow. Maybe I can armbar him into coming on at some point. That is apparently armbar. Man, I need to work out. But so we'll bring him on. We'll get Jim back on when he has some time, but he may not have time because he's up 37% over last year. So, and then who else can we get on? We'll bring Rohin on again. I'd like to get Georgie on again too, because he's really got a unique perspective that I think will be beneficial for our freelancers. So I'm going to put all that together. I had the LinkedIn guy I really wanted to bring on, but the dude won't reply to my messages. So I guess he doesn't want to get that kind of exposure. Ross says, can you drop me a link to your citation service, please? And I'll drop you a message on there about my project. Sure. That'll give me a chance to bring Legiit back on the screen as well, because that's what's best for business. Share. Let's see. That's handsome. Hey, look at that. That's Sam right there. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Where is it? Here we go. So there is that service for Ross, who asked, and anybody else who asked. So there you go. Abrar says Legiit is a great marketplace, but there are only 5 buyer requests in the graphic design section. No updated buyer requests in graphic design section. So what you need to do is go in the Legiit Facebook group and share your design services. Excuse me. And put your post on the Legiit weekly roundup. You still have time to do that. That'll help drive you some sales. You can try to do some advertising if you want to. If you don't have any money, that's cool. You can, we're having a thing right now where if you want to make a graphic for Halloween, that'll get you some exposure to our entire social media audience. So there's lots of opportunities there. The job board is just one of the many ways you can do that. So let me bring up the post that has all of them. So I get that you we're looking for jobs that way, but there's lots of different opportunities as well. So give me just a sec here. I'll give you a link to some other things that can help you get some more graphic design sales. We actually have a lot of graphic design business. It's probably the number 3 category. I don't have that in front of me right now, but I think that's probably the case. I think I'm not being untruthful when I say that. So give me just 1 second here. Will there be new levels for Legiit? If you mean like the seller levels, we're definitely going to revamp that. So I don't know if there will be like levels above where there are, but we're definitely going to revamp how that works at some point. It just, there's only so many dev hours in a day, Here you go, Ebrar. Anyone else that's interested? Where is it? No, that's not it. Brar says, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm happy to help. I appreciate you asking in a polite way. So let me bring that up on the screen. Yeah, see here is a complete guide with lots of resources. We got some digital marketing 101. We got an article on how to 4x your sales, an opportunity to write for it, an opportunity to show your creativity. And there's a post in the Legiit Facebook group about Halloween specific graphics. We got Legiit Mondays. We got Legiit Weekly Roundup. We got some opportunity to, excuse me, voice is getting rough, to get some free like Facebook advertising. There's the job board, which you've obviously taken advantage of. I need to update this link to the Legiit Facebook group because somebody screwed that up for us. Here's a free course on freelancing. I'll go ahead and drop that one in. Let me do it this way. Here is how you can get a free course on freelancing, how I grew my freelancing business. And guys, I've done over $5 million in freelance SEO services, mostly SEO. And then here's some other opportunities as well. So check out all those, Abrar. And once I see that you've taken advantage of all that, if you're still having trouble, let me know, and then I'll help you further. So there's that from Twitch. So let me jump back on camera. Actually, let me grab a little more water. All right, we've got less than 10 minutes to go. Good news, everybody. Jim found his new keyboard. Thank God. I was so concerned. Ow. All right. Let me see if we got any questions anywhere else. Doesn't look like it. Alexa Bliss is still waiting to join Superstar SEO. That's funny. It is to me anyway. So Jim, don't keep us in suspenders. Let us drop the link to your new keyboard so we can check out how it's inferior to Windows. But no, for real, drop the link. Sam says, do you think a service that would sell like a blog post with editing, publishing, with 5,000 social signals and one niche edit going to it, plus tier 2 PBNs going to the niche edit would sell? I have no idea. Test it out and see if it does. I will say that it has potential because people like to get a lot of stuff in a service. Like even if they don't really need all the stuff, like when you can stack more things on it, people feel like there's more value, whether there is or isn't. And then we'll go from there. So try it and see what happens, Ross says, hey, Chris, thanks for the link. Sent you a message on there. Awesome. I will get to you within 24 hours, probably sooner. Jim dropped it there. Let me see if I can't copy it, and we'll bring it up and have a look at what Jim's going to have on his Fisher-Price computer. Ew, that's dull. Hater. So this is what Jim is going to be working with. You sure this is LED? Or you have to put the lights in it? It's not very sexy. Let me bring up mine. G910. This is what I have. So mine looks really awesome. Can't wait to have it back. Jim is being butthurt because I called out his crappy computer. Abrar says, Sir, Legiit is a great marketplace for new freelancers because it has less competition, helps new freelancers prove their skills and earn money. Love from Asia. Thank you, my friend. If we have a couple minutes left, if you want to drop a link to your services, I'd be happy to bring them up on screen for you. Sam says, okay, thank you. We'll get it up. I don't need to know about your personal life. You know that's going to be the thumbnail on Facebook, right? Me going like that because they always choose the most embarrassing moment to make the thumbnail. All right, we got 5 minutes to go. Man, this session went quickly. Any last minute questions, Abrar? If you got this is your one shot, drop your link and let me know, or at least type your username and I can find it myself, and we'll go from there. If not, we'll do it next time. But again, guys, don't quit. Stuff's gonna suck. Stuff's gonna come up. You're gonna have bad days. Just keep at it and adapt to the situation. You're not powerless. You have all the control. All you have to do is exercise it and make your life what you deserve. Help the people that need your help because there are people that need you. And Abrar drops his link. Awesome. Let's grab that and take a look. Oh, I remember seeing you in the group the other day, I think. Maybe. I may be confusing you with somebody else. All right. So design professional business flyer, event flyer, and do custom outstanding bulk t-shirt design for Amazon and print in 12 hours. Wow, these look really good. Yeah, these are really nice. If anybody needs a t-shirt, I'm going to drop your link there. Hit up Abrar here and give him a chance. It looks like he does really good work. So it's only $6. So because you guys are worth more than $5, but yeah, go ahead and hit Abrar up and get yourself a t-shirt made. These look like they're really good. So I would beef up the description a little bit. That's just me. But overall, I think you got a good service here, and we'll keep at it. SR Shohag says, sir, we need a Legiit app. No, you don't. Sam says, random question. Do you have any tips to keep a sleep schedule? I'm literally so bad at it. Go to bed at the same time every night. I take a melatonin supplement and a magnesium supplement. Don't eat within 2 hours of going to bed. Get up at the same time every day, at least within an hour window, the same time every day. Have your last meal have a little bit of carbs in it because that helps you sleep a little bit. I have an essential oil diffuser in my room with a scent that is supposed to help you sleep. I really like that. I have a white noise machine in my room. I actually did a whole blog post on sleep a while back too. I'll send that to you. Let me see if I can't find it. I'll drop it in the chat in case anybody else is interested. No, I'm still showing the screen. Whoops. Get an Aura ring. That'll help you track where you need help and where you don't, as far as sleep goes. Let's bring this back up on the screen, and then we're almost done. So yeah, I'll drop that in the chat. But yeah, this is kind of my whole sleep routine. Get a gravity blanket if you can afford it. It's the godsend. And the sleep mask, it didn't really work for me. But here's my whole thing. So hope that helps some. Here you go. Dropping that in the chat for anybody that's interested. And we'll stop sharing. Sir, we need a legit mobile app. No, you don't. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Abrar. If I can think of a t-shirt that I need, I will definitely hit you up, my friend. Sam says, thank you. Thank you, Sam. There's a link to my sleep blog post, and we have less than a minute to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up today. Appreciate you hanging out with us. I think it's an important message. I hope that you got it. I hope that you found it interesting. I hope that you found it entertaining. I hope that you benefited from it in some way, because that's my goal in life, is to help as many people as possible, improve their life as much as possible, because we all deserve to have the absolute best that this life has to offer, because you only get one shot at it, and you need to make the most of it, and you need to make it count for everybody else. So last thing I want to say before we finish up is figure out what you want out of life and go out and get it, because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world. And Ross says he watched my Sorcerer Digital video recently just by interlinking my services, made a decent improvement to my rankings. Thoroughly impressed. It's the little things. Awesome. We're going to talk about that in our upcoming webinar in Superstar SEO Academy. Yeah. But again, go out there and figure out what you want out of life and go out and get it, because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world. I'm Chris M. Walker. I'll see you again soon.